Welcome back to another cult horror review. This week, it'll just be me giving my thoughts on a film, but next week, Horror Gang should be back, and I've been asked to look at The Blob. But before we get started, if there's a cult horror film you'd like us to review, just leave a comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to never miss out on another bad movie and cult horror movie review. Now, at the expense of potentially offending the whole The Blob fanbase, I've got very mixed feelings for this. I don't think that it's the quintessential sci-fi creature feature of the 50s. We follow a group of teenagers who try and warn a small town that it's in danger after a meteorite falls from the sky and brings with it some sort of gelatinous blob which consumes its victims and starts making its way through town. It's got its ups and downs, so let's start with the ups. Well, of course, it stars Steve McQueen in his very first movie as the starring role, giving us a charismatic and young persona to follow. And he's the only actor who's worthy of being called an actor, because the rest are really, really bad. What's interesting is that I noticed that The Blob is one of the first movies produced during that era to have young people in the lead role. Basically, all of the other notable sci-fi flicks of the time had grown adults, scientists, airplane pilots, or adventurers. But here, just a group of high schoolers trying to convince the authorities of the Blob's existence. I found that it did a good job at capturing small-town American life, which I enjoyed. It really has the 50s written all over it, whether it's the clothing or the cars or even the music. This brings me to another point, the Blob itself. The effects are pretty cool. There's something visceral about it. While it sometimes looks cheesy, for most of the movie this does the trick. It's also shot in beautiful Technicolor. For a low budget, I'm surprised that they could even afford it. And whether you like it or despise it, the theme song at the beginning is unforgettable in its own way.
Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall.
But the thing is, for a film named The Blob, I would have liked it if I could see it more than I did. It appears several times to eat people during the first half, then it kind of disappears for a bit as we follow the kids racing backwards, talking and talking again. A lot of those scenes are really boring. It was successful enough to spawn a terrible made-for-TV sequel named Beware the Blob, and a 1988 remake, which I preferred. So yes, I found it to be very, very flawed, but it's got some worthy points here and there. So if you're curious enough, check it out.